When you ask someone, what does life mean to you? You get way too different answers and opinions. But you can go try it by yourself. You can go ask your dad, or your mom, or your uncle, whatever. But one thing that is for sure is that life is short. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good night, people. My name is Jesus Adrian Benitez Rodriguez, and today I'll talk to you about my experience of making new changes in my life and how to adapt to them. Like I said before, life is way too short, man. When you're a young kid, you wish you could be an adult and do whatever you want without asking your parents or without restrictions or without taking the risk and all that stuff like what a teenager does. But when you get to that point of growing up and building your life as an adult, you give anything to be a kid again. I'm not saying this because this is my opinion or I'm already an adult or I'm considering myself as a mature. But I'm saying this because this is what any grown person would say to you if you ask them about this. My biggest fear in life is imagining an old me that is not happy with what he did in life and realizing that I'm too old to make a change and in it and that I'm done with my life. That's why if you have a chance to make a change for good in your life, go ahead, take the risk. Do it as soon as possible before it's too late. I have many changes in my life. I wouldn't be done if I start talking about them because there are too many. But I regret making any of those changes because they all were for good and they all were for good for my life, and here I am. When I was really young, my first big change in my life was moving from San Pedro Sula to the capital of my country, Tegucigalpa, Honduras. I was born in San Pedro, raised in San Pedro, did all of my elementary school here, had all my family members in San Pedro. Basically, I had everything here. I cried like a little baby when they told me we were leaving. But then and now, I see that my family moved because of the good things. What were those good things, you may ask? My dad worked hard for 30 years in the Navy to reach the range that anyone in the Navy wants and works their entire life only to have a chance of reaching it. And that was being the real admiral of the Honduran Navy. What does being a real admiral mean? Well, I'll say it in a simpler way, which is being in command and controlling and being the leader of all the Honduran Navy. I realized that was the reason why my family was moving. And it made me happy because it was all for good. And that was my dad's biggest thing to make in life. Not only that, but me and my sister moved to a new level of learning, which was the Mayan School. A really advanced school compared to the one in San Pedro that was Alvarez International School in San Pedro. But that was even better. We were getting a better education and the chance of preparing for what was next in our life. We was improving our English to be prepared for our next family step, which was moving to the United States of America. After 2 years of living in Tegucigalpa, Honduras, my dad was promoted in being the Honduran Armed Force Ambassador in the United States, more specifically in Maryland. And this was a huge opportunity for me to reach new levels and make a better student of myself. Not gonna lie to you, at first this was devastating to hear. I spent 2 of my favorite years of my life adapting to how life worked in Tegucigalpa. It was something very different from San Pedro, and it took me a long time to adapt to it. And when I finally made myself comfortable with new surroundings and made my life there, my family got the news that we were moving not only to a new city or town in Honduras, we were moving to a whole different country with a different language and different people and surroundings. It was gonna be hard. It was a nightmare for me. My 13 years old couldn't afford that. But after a long time of thinking on how moving to the United States was gonna make me a good in my life, some examples these were like improving my English, which at that time was terrible, I'm gonna be honest. And it was really bad for a bilingual student, and it was just, I can't spread how bad it was. And making a better curriculum by finishing my middle school and part of my high school in a different country and experiencing with teenagers who only knew how to say hello, which is hola in Spanish, it made me even happy about moving to the United States. Another big recent change I made in my life was about something more personal. The United States is known for making people fat when they go there, and I can confirm that's true. Just think about all the fast food there's there in like McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, and you love fast food when you're in there. I was a normal kid when I left Tegucigalpa. I didn't have any overweight issues, but I wasn't in my best shape either. But my point is that I was happy with how I looked by that time. But when I came back to Honduras, I was a whole different person. I looked way too fat and in every aspect. And to be honest, I wasn't happy with it. So in January, I took the decision to make change of it. I entered the gym with my sister and I started to work out every day of the week. I mix cardio with a calorie diet and also building muscle in the gym. It may sound easy, this kind of changes but in your daily routine, but trust me, that is not. Finding the right diet and the right workouts wasn't easy for me. Seeing yourself working hard to change your aspect of your body and not seeing any changes at all is one of the worst things in life. You can get depressed, you can't even think about giving up and just staying the way you are. But that was not the decision I took. I searched all the ways possible, like doing swimming lessons or going to soccer trainings, and not doing diets, but taking control of what I ate in my daily routine. And look at me now. I'm not saying I look perfect or sexy or stunning. Nah, not even close. But I reached the objective of that change, which was being happy with myself, and that's how I am right now. Those were only a few things and one of the few big changes I made in my life. And not all changes are good or end up being good, but that's what life is about. Thinking and winning and risking, or sometimes losing. But it's all for good. If you lose, you analyze why you lost and learn from the experience for the next time. Making changes and adapting to them is not easy, but as long as the change is for good, never give up to adapt to them. Later in life, you see that it was worth it, and you'll be happy to think about what you had made and that you made the right decisions in your life. Thank you very much.